How's it going, Colton?
Good.
Two questions. One, is that an original Les Paul? And two, is it yours or did you borrow it from somebody?
Yep, to answer your question, that's original Les Paul, limited edition 2013 run. And no, that is mine. I've been saving up for that one since middle school. So that was kind of a dream come true for me. A great question. Way to start this thing off. Nice.
Colton, two things. I told our buddies over at 107.5 The Game that we'd have them. I don't know if you heard this. They were going back and forth on how you pronounced your name, and they just wanted to be able to have it on record. So can you at least say your last name?
Yeah, it's Gauthier. It's, no French or there's no, fancy way to say it. It's like Gauthier. It's like just Gauthier, it's pretty basic. I've had people mess up my last name my whole life, so if y'all do, it don't really offend me at all. I'm okay with it.
Well, that's for Jay Phillips and Pearson over at 107.5. How are things been able to, for you, I mean, obviously with the changes going on, how do you feel like you've been able to elevate your game, and where do you feel like you still need to be able to step up?
Yeah, definitely. Great question. For me right now, obviously, it's just, again, it's the playbook. I remember sitting up here during the springtime and saying the same things. I mean, the offense that we were running is definitely complicated in a good way. Like, that's how we need it. So for me, it's really just continuing to learn. Like, I'm still young. There's going to be times where I make really dumb decisions, really stupid things, not knowing the situation completely. But that's good for me because I'm getting a lot of reps, so I'm able to learn from that a lot quickly than a lot of these other guys. And that's the biggest thing for me is like just going in there and making those mistakes. I mean, you guys, I'm sure, have heard Zach Wilson talk about practice. Like, practice is the time to, can I fit that throw in there? No, okay, I can't. Okay, like he's kind of going through the same process as I am. Is like, if I check this, is this gonna work or do I? Okay, this won't work. Let me go back to this. Like, now's that time for me to kind of play around and learn from my mistakes and continue to grow, which I believe I have been. And just, like I said, continuing to learn the playbook. And once I learn the playbook, I think everything will go more smoothly. But like I said, as, a young guy right now, biggest thing for me is just encouraging the guys too. Like, I feel like I, need to do a better job of encouraging the guys all the time. Because sometimes I feel like I'm young and like, oh, they're not, really paying attention. But I kind of realized like I have a pretty big influence on this team already, which I feel pretty blessed to have. And so, like I said, just continuing to push guys, and when you push other guys, that helps you elevate your own game. So you feel like you're holding yourself accountable too. You can't go around and tell these guys, hey man, do your job, and you're over here not doing your job. Like, there's another level of accountability attached to that. So, great question.
Hey, Colton. Two questions for you. First off, do you feel comfortable enough disclosing how much you spent on the Les Paul?
Couple grand. I'll say that.
Okay, so second question is on the field. Speed of the game. How would you assess where you are with that at the quarterback spot, and how you just hope to use, hopefully, the next 2.5 weeks to potentially earn yourself the starting job for the opener?
It's definitely, obviously, like I said, I'm still young, so the game is going really fast right now because, I'm still learning the playbook. I'm still learning how to read, SEC coverages and stuff like that. I mean, it's a pretty big jump. But I definitely feel like it's slowing down a little bit just because, like I said, early enrolling is probably the best decision that I've made because coming in here, I mean, I've been here since January 4th. Like, I feel like I've been here 3 years almost. And that's why, like, sometimes I got to take a step back and it's like, dude, you only been here, 7 months? So, to answer your question about the speed of the game, it's definitely going to be faster. I mean, it's going to be faster for anybody coming in as an early enrollee. Like, I know I talked to Juju, I talked to some of these other freshman guys. Like, they're all like, dude, it's fast. But that's what, again, practice is for. We meet, and fall camp is a great time for that. I mean, we're in the building 24/7, and the guys that are going to play are the guys that are going to take advantage of that time. Meetings on the field, off the field, recovery, all those things contribute to on the game, on the field, and the speed of the game. But it's definitely slowing down. But we keep installing, and defenses change, and so you got to keep up with that too. But it's like anything in life, the more you do it, the slower, the easier it's going to get. And it's the same thing for football. So
a lot of the defensive guys have talked about being able to hide coverages and how complex it is to read Clayton White's defense from a quarterback perspective. Is that true? And what's been the biggest challenge in terms of you being able to read defenses and understand what they're looking like?
Yeah, I remember there was a time during spring ball where, the guys that know about football is usually, one high safety, two high safeties. I'm back there and there's three safeties, and I'm like, okay, what do I do here? It's just like fire my back and throw the check down. Like, so I mean, there's times where it's like I'm back there and I'm like, is this even like is there 12 dudes on the field right now? So you just gotta kind of figure it out and like have fun with it. Again, like with practice, it's like, okay, you see it live during practice. You go back and you watch the tape. You see it on tape. Then you take notes on what zones they're covering, and then you go watch it in game film, and then you go practice it and see it on the field the next day. And that's when you start to figure out, like, okay, I know these routes are good against these coverages, but it all builds in, right? You got to know the playbook first. Once you know the playbook, then you're like, okay, I know why we're running these plays to attack these certain coverages. It all builds off itself. But Coach White definitely does a great job disguising, his defenses. Like I said, with the three safeties, and sometimes they'll, drop ends and all these kinds of stuff, which, in high school you never really saw. Double-A mug and then a defensive end dropping in zone coverage. Like that's high-level stuff. So for me, it's just knowing like the possibilities of defense and how to stretch the defense with our offense. So like I said, everything's just a learning curve right now, and I'm taking full advantage of it.
Colten, in terms of that, when you think back to like practice 1 in January to now, what's that like to look back on, and how do you feel like you've kind of taken to it? I mean, I'm sure it's been a lot of information thrown at you all at once.
Yeah, I mean, first practice, I believe, we started walkthroughs like kind of like in February, and those walkthroughs were kind of like, you go out there, it was like towel ball. We had a towel out there, and you obviously, with the rules with the NCAA and stuff like that. And I remember this was when Luke got COVID and was quarantined for a week. And so I went out there for first team reps, and this was my first time in a huddle, like going under center. And so I had to figure that out. So like I was more worried about the huddle than the play. And the play got called. I'm like, all right, I have no idea what the play is. I'm just going to pretend like I know it, play the part, let's roll. And that's kind of how I attacked it. But again, like I said, same thing during spring. It's just hard work, like in the playbook every single day. Like, and Coach Satterfield always says greatness happens outside the building. And that's 100% true. You can be in the building, you can take notes, you can, watch film, be intentional with it, which is great, what you need to do. But, when you're in your dorm or when you go home for a week, like, are you still in the playbook? Are you still watching tape? Like, it all matters. It's all relative. So, yeah, it definitely the way that I perceive it is I've come a long way, a really long way, but I still got a really long way to go. And if you have that perspective, that's going to take you wherever you want to go. So,
Colten, is it your goal to start on September 4th?
absolutely.
Hey, Colten, just two-part question. Just one, overall, how have you been enjoying your time in Columbia so far? And then two, what do you feel your skill set brings to this offense, kind of going back to the football field?
Absolutely. Well, as a lot of y'all know, I'm a Georgia boy. I'm from the South, so this really isn't too big of a difference for me. It feels like home. I love the city. As I've been here longer and longer, I'm starting to find I'm the kind of guy that I like to go out and go see run down guitar shops or go and see nature and stuff like that. I like to get out and do those sort of things. And Columbia has it all, the River Walk, downtown area. All those things. There's so many things to do that I haven't even found out about yet, and that I'm continuing to find out about. So it's been really fun, kind of living here and getting to experience something different. And I feel like for me, my strong suit, as I said in the spring, was my arm talent. I feel like I have one of the best arms in the country from that standpoint. But like I said, none of that matters unless I go out there, I know what I'm supposed to do, I can read defenses, and I can execute. That's what it comes down to. But I feel like I have the tools necessary to do that. It's just chipping away at it every single day. And so, yeah, that's pretty much.
Since Luke went down, what have kind of been like the reps in terms of first team, second team, and what have the coaches kind of told you about that? Does that really mean too much right now? Does that really, should we really be looking into it too much on the outside when we go to practice?
I don't think so because there's been a lot of changes recently with Luke going down. I mean, there's reps being pulled from everywhere. First team, second team, third team, fourth team, like fifth team. Like it's all kind of up in the air right now. But yeah, I wouldn't. It's not like, okay, this is the starter going into September 4th. Like we're only in practice 10. Like we have until September 3rd to figure it out. If it comes down to it, like nothing's set until Coach Beamer stands up here and he's like, "This is our starting quarterback going into September 4th." So that's how I would look at it from that standpoint.
They kind of have both you guys going. You don't have not both, but all the quarterbacks going.
Yeah. I mean, it's all right. You get these. All right, you get these. Okay, you switch and go over here. Like nothing's set in stone right now. There's not like a definite 1, 2, and 3. It's kind of all over the place right now, which is good. It's like I said, Coach Beamer talked about doom and gloom when Luke went down. It was true. I remember we were sitting in the quarterback room and he comes in there and this is before the scrimmage. He's like, "Hey, we're gonna smile today. Like we're gonna smile today. I'm gonna be pissed off at you if you're not smiling. We get a chance to go play in Willie B," which is 100% true. And so it's really unfortunate. That's our brother Luke. The team definitely felt it. We could feel it in team meetings when he got hurt, but it's also an opportunity for some of us to step up and show what we can do.
Do you play guitar for your teammates? Like, have you played songs for them? And also,
That's a great question.
have you found other teammates that play maybe other instruments? Like,
Yeah.
have you jammed with some teammates?
Yeah. So to answer your first question, we actually have a talent show tomorrow for the rookies. And so I got something planned. I'm gonna get up there during one of the meetings and play guitar for the team. So I got to figure that out, what song I'm doing, because tough crowd. They'll start throwing bottles at you if you, like, seriously. I mean, I've heard stories of dudes who are like you better be good because if not, you're gonna get hit in the head with a water bottle, like legitimately. So yeah, I gotta figure out what I'm doing for that tomorrow. But I'm gonna play for the guys tomorrow. And to answer your second question, yeah, I actually have James Bartholomew, one of our walk-on guys. He's got long hair like me. Well, that's actually how we hit it off. Is like, and we started making fun of each other with the long hair, and then he started playing guitar, and you're like, "No way! Like you play guitar too!" And so we actually went to the Guitar Center a couple weeks ago, and we started jamming. And somebody came in, they're like, "Do you all play football?" We're like, "Yeah." They're like, "That's so cool!" Like we're just in the back, just jamming by ourselves, like at night, like with nobody around, which is what I like to do. And so yeah, I mean, there's a couple of other guys that kind of have some musical abilities, which is really cool. Kind of have that something outside of football. For some guys, it's cars. For some guys, it's, maybe fishing. But, for me, it's guitar and music, which is, you got to have that outlet from football. So, yeah, definitely.
Last question goes to Cam.
Hey, Colten. Coach Satterfield has talked a lot about how multiple and versatile this offense is. When you're in a quarterback competition like this, does that make it easier to step in for whoever's going to be taking the first team reps on any given day to know just how fluid and malleable, I guess, this offense can be?
Yeah. We kind of moved some guys around. Like I'm sure you guys saw, DK taking a couple reps today at quarterback. Like that's not anything. That's not because, Luke went down and we're in a panic. Like, oh, we got to, it's like DK is a playmaker. Whether he's playing receiver, whether he's returning kickoffs, whether he's playing quarterback. Like our goal is to get the ball in his hands. So that's not anything that's like, oh, we're, shallow at quarterback. It's nothing like that. But we're able to kind of move, like, because our offense is, so diverse and complicated, we're able to do whatever we want to do with it. It's not like, okay, we're air raid, that's it. Sorry, nothing else to it. You know what I mean? It's like there's so many different things that we can do that makes it easy for us to, whoever's in there, we're going to play to their strengths because the offense covers everything. And so, like, if somebody else goes in and he's good at this particular set of skills, like, we're going to hinge to that and attack that. DK's in, we're going to attack that. We're going to get the ball in his hands, run counter plays, run option plays. Like, we're going to do all those sorts of things. So having an offense like that is great because, like I said, doesn't matter who's in, doesn't matter who's out. Like, our offense is going to be able to play to the strong suits of our players, whoever's playing at that time. So it's a great thing to have that. And like I said, DK is a playmaker. We're just trying to get the ball in his hands however we can.